Hi, this is Craig Stocks, and this is my photo critique of the day. Today's photo was provided by Natasha Tangle. So, Natasha, thank you so much for sharing this wonderful image with us. As you can see, it's a very interesting photo of a carnival ride. At first I thought a Ferris wheel, but I think it's going faster than that, so this is probably a tilt-a-whirl of some sort. Up in the air, spinning, we've got these colored lights creating the streaks. And then the background is a nice colorful sunset. We've got the nice yellow and orange glow in the sky contrasted with the blue. So we've got a lot of primary colors going on here with the yellow and the blue in the sky and then the green of the Ferris wheel. And it really creates a very nice color combination. I like your use of a slow shutter speed to capture the motion of the ride as it goes around. Shutter speed basically controls the visibility of motion. So using a slow shutter speed allows things that are in motion to blur. It allows the lights to create these streaks of light as they go around, and the dark parts of the ride create these very nice blurred dark shapes. I like the way you composed this. The ride is in a real nice place on the 1/3 of the way into the image. So as we talk about rule of thirds, I think being placed at a 1/3 point works much better than being centered. And of course that's balanced then by the bright colors in the sky and then framed a little bit by the darker clouds over on the right. So it creates a real nice balance from left to right. There are a couple of technical things that I would point out. First of all, there's a couple of dust spots, or what appear to be dust spots, that become very visible against the bright clouds. And of course those are very easy to spot out in Lightroom or Photoshop. And the other thing, if I look at this again on a white background, it's just a very touch on the dark side, and pulling the whites up just a little bit gives just a little bit more pop in the sky and creates a little bit more contrast. And so to my eye, that balance is a little bit better. Of course your monitor may be different, but the ultimate test is if you make a print on paper, then there's no debate about monitor calibration or anything else. It is what it is once it's on paper. And so ultimately, images should be adjusted so that they print correctly. That's kind of the acid test. And again, looking at it on a black background, we can see that the blacks drop nicely into a black background. So that overall histogram works very well. The other thing that I would think about with an image like this would be to explore other positions, other camera angles. It bothers me a little bit that just the very bottom of the ride is cut off. That I would like to see either the whole ride from top to bottom, or if it is going to be cropped off, I'd like to see a little bit more dramatic cropping, maybe taking more off at the bottom and even some off at the top, so that it becomes obvious that it's cropped and that you're not intending to show the entire ride. And that also creates some opportunities, depending on how you crop or how you position the camera, to create a more or less abstract type of image that becomes a little bit less immediately obvious what it is, but yet it still has pleasing colors, tones, and shapes. Of course, those are things you can play with, not just in Photoshop or Lightroom, but when you're taking the picture, watching it through the viewfinder or reviewing it on the LCD, think about different ways to crop the image, different camera positions, maybe try verticals, try horizontals, try different focal lengths, and most importantly, try walking around to different locations, because ultimately the only way to change your perspective is to change your location. But overall, let me reset this. Overall, I think you've got a wonderful image here. I think you've done a good job using a slow shutter speed to show the motion of the ride, and a real good use of the sunset sky as a background. So overall, I think a great effort. And Natasha, thank you for sharing your image. And if anybody else would like to share their image with us for the daily critique, please send me a Facebook message, or you can find my email address on my website, and I'd be happy to include it in the critique of the day. Thanks, and have a great day.